Get your tinfoil hats out, folks, because Argentina is set to declassify all government documents about Nazis who fled Germany to go hide in South America. Now, one of the longest-running conspiracy theories of all time is that Hitler never actually died and committed suicide in Germany, and that he fled to Argentina, where he lived peacefully for another, 2 decades. And while none of this has ever been proven true, in 2017, the CIA did declassify a document that investigated the possibility that all of this happened. Now, this entire conspiracy theory all originated from a Soviet general by the name of Georgy Zhukov. Under Stalin's orders, he went out publicly and said that Hitler did not commit suicide in that Berlin bunker, and that he fled to either Spain or Argentina. And then he had further quotes saying that there was a charred body that was supposedly Hitler's remains that he said was, quote, a poor body double. And from there, this conspiracy theory went wild to the point that in modern day, there are shows like The Hunters, or it's all over pop culture, all about Nazis fleeing Germany and how Hitler might still be alive. Now, there are documented examples with evidence of Nazis who fled Germany to live in South America, specifically Adolf Eichmann, who was the engineer of the Holocaust, Josef Mengele, who was described as the angel of death, Erich Priebke, who was the SS captain. He was responsible for slaughtering 355 people in Italy. And Walter Kutschmann, who was in the Gestapo. And all of these guys lived for a really long time. Adolf Eichmann was killed by the Mossad agents in 1962. Mengele fled to Brazil, lived till 1979. Walter Kutschmann lived under an alias in Argentina until 1986. And Erich Priebke lived until 1990 before he was extradited to Italy and served a life sentence in prison. So there's 100% hardcore proof that some Nazis fled to South America and lived there for a long time. High-ranking Nazis. So I could understand the idea that if those guys did it, then the head guy most certainly did too, right? But any actual evidence of Hitler fleeing to Argentina, it's most likely Soviet disinformation or eyewitness accounts that really can't be relied upon. The most tangible piece of evidence that Hitler did in fact commit suicide in the bunker are dental records proving that the body they found was Adolf Hitler. But the Argentina theory states that he worked for a shipping company and that he used the rat lines, which are basically like the Underground Railroad to get Nazis safely out of Germany, to make it to South America. Now, these upcoming declassification documents, nobody knows whether it's actually going to include Hitler. And if it's anything like these other declassification document dumps, it's going to be nothing. It's been nothing with JFK. It's been nothing with aliens. It's been nothing with Epstein. Nothing ever comes from these declassifications because if there was anything actually important, it wouldn't be getting declassified. Now, that's not to say there won't be some interesting evidence and facts about the rat lines and other people who did escape. There's got to be a lot of interesting stuff about other high-ranking Nazis who got out of Germany and how fucking crazy that is. And so for all that, these documents will be intriguing. But I would not get excited that we're going to have some document revealing, Hitler was officially living under the name Ricardo Clement in Argentina. And, here's the proof. Because that never happens. Another 1 Minute Man public service announcement for you. I am a firm believer that men should not be on social media, particularly straight men. And I understand the hypocrisy of this take coming from me, a straight white man on the internet who uses social media every single day to make his career. But 2 things. 1, I believe that I use social media in a somewhat more acceptable manner. And 2, if I gotta sacrifice myself in order to institute some sort of rule where we get men off of TikTok and Instagram, then so be it. That's how committed to this cause I am. I'm like the Clayton Bigsby of this movement. Even though I am one of them, I will do whatever it takes. We shouldn't be on this app. Because whether it's the teenage boys doing the eye rolls and the fucking gyrations, or the shirtless guys doing choreographed dances, or where you lip sync and walk towards the camera and serenade the camera, or the fucking lip licking from that floppy hair kids trying to be sexy, who are these guys? And why don't they feel the proper amount of shame when you're about to do cringy shit like this? Do they not have one friend who goes, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Just one buddy who says, you want me to dance sexy to this country music song? What? You don't have one good old-fashioned problematic toxic man in your life who goes, bro, that's gay. And it's not just the weirdo teenagers who are cosplaying as Magic Mike, although they are the top offenders. It's the guys who try to chop wood sexy and the guys who jump rope sexy. When did all this happen? This is stuff for the women and the gay guys. They're the ones who are sexy. And it's not just the sexy. There's a million other avenues that are equally unacceptable. You got the Andrew Tates of the world. And the Navy SEAL guys who are just screaming cringy shit to hide their insecurities. You got the grifters online who pretend they're Wall Street sharks because they made 16 grand off an MLM pyramid scheme. The self-help guru, the crypto idiots. The morning routine guy thinking that it's normal to script your whole day and share it with the world like anyone gives a fuck. All of it. Ridiculous. I don't know where we lost the plot and how we don't make fun of these people enough to stop. Make them stop. We got to figure it out somehow. Ultimately, though, it's at the end of the day, it's on the consumer. It's the viewers that need to stop. Because as long as millions of people will watch a dude like lick his lip and fucking hump the air, then there's money to be made. And you can't expect these people to not ride these waves and make said money. So we got to take away the ability to make money off this shit. We need to stop rewarding the cringe. And only then will we return to a normal society. Only then will men become normal again. For every girl who's like, men used to go to war and they wish it was like that, like it was back in the day, it's your fault. It's your fault that you're banging the Montana boys. It's your fault that you're making these TikTokers millionaires. You reap what you sow. You created these weirdo little feminine reality star cringe creatures, and now you don't like it. Stop rewarding the cringe. Justin Bieber has been crashing out on social media recently and saying that he looks sickly and addicted to drugs. Now, looking at Bieber, the eye test on the internet, yeah, it does not look great. He does not look healthy. He looks very skinny. He looks very strung out and tweaking. You never know what's going on behind closed doors, but if you were to stereotypically think of a person who is struggling with some sort of addiction and mental issues, this is kind of what it would look like. Also, his behavior on social media, while there's no smoking gun or anything too crazy, it looks very manic. He had like 50 posts on Instagram over the last couple days for a guy who's usually pretty private and does not do like tweet storms and Instagram binges. The fact that he's on one alone seems to be a little bit of a red flag. He's posting things like, I tried to play nicey nice, and we know that Hailey Bieber had unfollowed him, and Selena Gomez is all over the place with Benny Blanco, so that may trigger things. But really, all of this started when the Diddy news came to light. And again, this is all pure speculation, and this is a lot of people from the outside looking in with limited information, talking about a guy's life that you really don't know. But it does come from a place of concern with a lot of these fans, and there are enough red flags, and the timeline seems to match up with news of what might be a person who abused him coming to light. And I think with Justin Bieber, you're talking about a situation where at the very minimum, he was exploited professionally and personally at a young age by guys like Diddy. Or it could range all the way up to like he was actually physically assaulted and abused. And no matter what it is, I'm sure it is a very hard thing for him to go through. I feel bad for the dude. I really do. He's always been in the spotlight and he hasn't always made like the perfect choices, but overall he's a very good person who's trying to just live his life. A talented kid he got made fun of, he got money too early, he went through a lot of shit, and he's going through what seems to be a pretty hard time now. And I just think that Justin Bieber is a guy who deserves some grace, because if a lot of the rumors that we hear about what may have gone on with Diddy are true, then he deserves all the support and all the help in the world. And the last thing people need are him just talking shit, cracking jokes, and speculating and invading his privacy. It's tough when you're out there as a pop star and you live your life like this, and it kind of comes with the territory. But I just think out of all the people who went through some truly horrific shit, Justin Bieber is up there at the top of the list potentially for having gone through the absolute worst. So extend that guy a little bit of grace next time before you're about to clown on him for his Instagram stories. Professional gangbang host Lily Phillips offered a behind-the-scenes look at what goes on at one of her quote-unquote events. If you're not familiar with Lily Phillips, she's the girl who went viral for sleeping with 100 guys in one day, and then she made a documentary about it where she was crying afterwards and said she regretted everything. And so she's been one of these viral porn stars. She's in competition with Bonnie Blue, who is the other internet porn star who's hot in the streets right now. They're like Magic and Bird. They're like in a nuclear arms race to see who can be the most viral porn star on the internet. Bonnie Blue had sex with 1,000 guys in one day, and then she showed up to Cancun on spring break. And so now Lily Phillips has to keep upping her game to keep up with Bonnie Blue. So her latest piece of content is a behind-the-scenes look at all the men who show up to have a gangbang with her. And now, first off, let me just say, referring to a gangbang as a match and saying that there's a kickoff time is wild. It's probably pretty accurate considering the amount of rigorous activity you're about to go through, but nonetheless, it's crazy to call it a match with a kickoff. Second of all, I would love to hear what these little pregame pep talks are like. I'm picturing she's doing Chicago Bulls 1990 with she's like, at guard from North Carolina at 5'6", it's this micro penis regular dude who's gonna fuck me in the ass. And these guys, man, listen, I'm an adult. I don't kink shame. I'm not a prude. As long as everybody was a consenting adult, I don't have a problem, right? But all these dudes showing up in masks, like at what point do you have to check yourself? There's so many steps that go into thinking about this and then doing this. Like you're walking out the door and you're like, oh shoot, wait, forgot my gangbang ski mask. Be right back. And then you run, you gotta bring your mask with you and you show up and you put this mask on like you are about to rob a bank. The inherent thought process of I must wear a mask so the world does not know what I'm about to do does not trigger you that like maybe I shouldn't do this. And we've all done things that we shouldn't do. But usually the payoff is a little bit greater than like, I'm gonna be the 46th guy to have anal sex with this girl. But these guys, man, these are true gooners. To be standing in line wearing like a ski mask or one of those like Lone Ranger Zorro masks where you just put on your little eye thing and you're just talking to the guy next to you like, yeah, what's up, dude? Cool ninja mask. Yeah, no, mine is a ski mask. Yeah. Hey, you look like you're from the town. Yeah. And then all of this happens. And you wait in line the whole time and you still go through with it. That, my friends, is a level of horny I simply cannot comprehend.
It's that time again, pop up on your screen. It's the 1 minute man, y'all know what I mean. The boy KFC, we ain't talking about the chicken. A minute go by and the clock be ticking. Hot takes with stakes, greatest in all the land. Don't blink, you'll miss it. It's the 1 minute man.